Welcome back, my fellow duplicants. Today I'm taking a look at the oil well. Now, this was something that I worked with a little while ago, but you know what? I never really used it in my base, and mostly that's because it was always down here next to this really hot stuff, and my pumps would just explode, so I never really pursued it. Well, in the most recent update of the game, they allowed us to build pumps and all sorts of equipment out of refined metals. So the nice thing about that is that if you were to build, let's say, a gas pump out of steel, it now gets a overheat temperature with an additional 200 degrees Celsius. So previously we were limited to just plus 50 with gold amalgam. So when you did gold amalgam, you could get up to 125 degrees Celsius, which was good, but it wasn't really enough to deal with a lot of the situations that we were now being exposed to, you know, down here at the base, you know, we're next to magma, which is super hot, or up near space where you got a bunch of that regolith. However, we can now deal with a lot of these situations because we have higher temperature materials. So steel is a good one. You can niobium, it has plus 500 C, whoa! Or the thermium, whatever that one is, boom! Plus 900 C, if you can get your hands on that stuff. You gotta go to space to get that though. So that's 575 for the first one that I was telling you about, and then 975 after that. So we can really move some really hot stuff if you have that material available to you. But the other thing is that we also have a liquid reservoir, and I made that out of steel. I made everything out of steel down here. So even the carbon skimmer is made out of steel. So what I'm trying to do is take this area down here and just kind of run it in like a situation. Maybe this is what I would do in a base, right? So down here, this is some really hot crude oil. You can see there's a lot of heat down here, and then I exposed a cold biome to this hot biome, trying to melt some of the, some of that ice down here. Unfortunately, the ice is winning, so I can't melt anymore, but I was pumping crude oil by just transferring the heat from the sour gas down here into the cold biome and melting down some of that polluted ice or just ice there, and then running that through a sieve so that that runs down here to the oil reservoir. And any carbon dioxide that might come out of that, or let's say the natural gas generator, which I should be able to run off of this. The whole idea is this thing could be a closed system, and then I just recycle the water as much as possible. Because when you do run an oil reservoir, you consume at 1 kilogram a second, but you produce at 3.3 kilograms of crude oil. Now, for the most part, your base is like packed full of crude oil. I mean, you got a bunch here, you got pockets of it under pressure, so you can make it a good long time before you need to tap into any of those, wells. But at some point, especially if you're filling up rockets and flying around with jetpacks, you will definitely need to get access to more sources of crude oil. Then again, we also got slicksters too, so I could just kind of plop one of those in there too if I really wanted to. There you go, buddy. Have fun. No longer need a carbon skimmer. What I do need is some more water. So we're gonna brush some of that water in there. So in my current playthrough of the base, I actually have 2 separate steam geysers, and that gives me a lot of access to water. So there's a good chance I might be able to run an oil reservoir every once in a while whenever I get to a certain level of how much water I have. But you can see how the liquid is working here. I've now reached a certain threshold, where this is starting to pump out, and I'm just storing it in tanks over here. So you can see just how much I'm actually able to produce there. Look at that, just going up quite quickly. So I should be able to produce about 2,000 kilograms in one cycle. Now here's kind of the highlight of the problems that I usually have with this thing. See Trivaldo down here? He's come down to relieve the pressure on this. And that's going to let all of this natural gas out. But look at the temperature of that. It's super hot, 163 degrees Celsius. So the question really was, why didn't I tap into this earlier on? And it really just was a temperature problem, and it wasn't really worth messing with it. So Trivaldo got roasted. My poor dupes, they're gonna have some issues. Where's my home base? No. So let's see how this is actually working out now. So the temperature didn't really stay up that high. What did I do? Did I end up pumping some of this natural gas out? No, it didn't really get up that high. So maybe if this is just above, let's just do 200. No. All right, we'll keep it at 1,000. So the nice thing is that I do get some natural gas out of this. All right, I've reset the tanks here. We'll see just how much we get, and you know, well, we know how much we're gonna get. It's just a math problem. The interesting thing is that the oil well doesn't tell you how much natural gas it puts out. Oh no! My dupes, like, they get roasted too quickly. Man, I don't want to give them exosuits. Wait a minute, what is this? Missing strings equipment. Ooh, save game, save game. What is this? What have I spawned? +5 to digging? Camille, put it on. Who even knows what she has on her? It's a boring... Oh, check this out. It's a boring machine. Wow, there's something to that. Okay, okay. What would... Okay, I don't know exact... Quarrying gun and boring machine. How about that? +2 to digging. Yeah, that's cool, that's cool. So, Camille? Alright, so I'm gonna give that to her. We're going off the beaten path here. And then the priorities, everybody's gonna be dig is gonna be nothing. Except for her. Alright, put it on. Yes, okay, now dig over here. Just dig. Shh, don't look at Lindsay down there. She had an issue when she spawned in, okay? It looks the same. Nothing too fancy there. Uh-oh. Travaldo! Oh, no, no, no. Oh, he's now suffocating. We got him. It's all good. Oh, no! Travaldo died! Oh, no. We're gonna need more cool vests. And we're gonna need some more duplicates. Here, we'll just move Travaldo over there. There you go, buddy. Stinky, bro, you got your suit on. Apparently it isn't enough. All right, we'll make this a little bit better for these duplicates. No, Stinky, you're stuck in the tube as well. What's going on here? Like, really, bro? What's your issue? Uh-oh. There you go. See, you're fine now. Ooh, I think we're just yes. So this thing's running. Good job. We better put a battery pack up here. Hook some automation up between this and that. There you go. Active if it's below 30% or whatever. We'll dig this up a little bit more too. Man, we're getting real into this. We could just put a big old gas reservoir right there. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. No, I didn't want the water to fall past. Crap, it fell past. Oh man, now we got steam in the mix too. Wow, I was having fun down here. Okay, what was I doing? Gas reservoir. Darn it. Oh no, Ren's out of commission. Somebody help Ren. Uh-oh. Well, they would rather sleep. Although, look at this thing go. Yeah, look at it. So the natural gas flows up. Carbon dioxide, we don't really know where it's at because it doesn't even show up. That's working out pretty good. Look at all that natural gas. It might be beneficial for this up here just to be a metal tile and let some of that heat go up and try to melt, you know, some of that ice up there. Temperature wise, I mean, it's not too hot. I'm having some fun with pipes over here. Whee! Look at that. Oh no! Turner's down. Stinky's down. Uh-oh. Anybody's gonna help these people out? What's your priority? Oh. You know, life support should be very high, people. Alright, so let's try this. Let's try making that up there out of metal tiles. That should help to combat the temperature a little bit down here. Maybe the dupes won't just instantly melt. Let's find out. Two of you. Ooh, we got 2 Adas. No, oh no, you're stuck in the tube again. Seriously. Whatever this update did, it made the tube smaller, so every once in a while the dupes just get stuck in it. I mean, the temperature doesn't look that bad. What's wrong? All right, let's try another duplicate. Abe. Well, first thing you did is get stuck. That's your first problem. Oh, come on. Yeah, so running this thing just melts your dupes. Gosh, is there any way around that? If we put diamond down between here and there, just like... Oh, yeah, that's gotta help. Lots of diamond. Overkill of diamond. We kind of need to clear to get a clean list here. We'll just kind of drop these guys over that. Nobody, don't look too close. It's rated PG-13 today. Anybody want this cool vest? Abe, come let me know how the temperature's in it. Look at that, it's like 31C. That ain't bad. I could roll with 31C. There's something up with this vest. Nobody wants it. Just come get the vest. You know you want to. Hey, look, my dupe's not melting. Yes. Very good. I mean, there's not enough oxygen to do anything, but you could always pump in some oxygen. Here, let me throw some oxalite in there. I'll just... I mean, these dupes are never, ever gonna see this. Wow, look at that. That's fun. Okay, that's enough oxygen. Go away. Okay, so don't put a bunch of oxygen down here. It's just a bad idea. Hey, get this thing out of there. So you can see carbon dioxide. It's not a lot, but it is flowing down from the generator. Unfortunately, that's going to get damaged because some oxygen just found its way into this thing. You probably want to filter that out if you are going to do this for real. All right, so let's see if this system here is self-powering. Yeah, it's working. We'll move this up to like 50% so that it keeps running. And what I should be able to see right here is just how much natural gas I have on hand. So if that goes down over time as compared to going up, then it's not going to be a self-powering system. Uh-oh, I got another stuck duplicate. Nope. Gosh, what's wrong with you? I tell you what, I'm going to exclude the transit tube system from this unit, just because that tends to be a very, very power hungry system. So it's almost like a bit unfair to add it to this system, right? So I want to see if it is self-sustaining, not including the transit tube access point there. Because I think what I was seeing there is that it was slowly starting to go down, but it was basically because the dupes kept using this access point. Gosh, these dupes. Oh man, they're just not recovering. Hard to say, it keeps going like this. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this to just 10%. That's kind of low, but I should be able to have a duplicate come down here and just clear it the entire way. I don't think I need this carbon skimmer. The thing is, this little liquid pump here, like that would be a lot more efficient if it was, yeah, exactly. If it was a mini liquid pump, because that is pumping, like, that's all the more it really needs. Oh, here's yet another thing, right? Like the valves. You can make those out of the nice steel material and it'll survive a nice high temperature environment. We used to have to put those outside and then protect them all weird like with abyssalite, which isn't a thing anymore. Yeah, cool. Oops, plugged in the wrong pipe. Oh no, I've run out of water. And nothing more is melting fast enough, is it? It's like it wants to melt, but it isn't melting. I think there's only one thing left to do. Ooh, bring in the magma. All right, so all I did is expose just a little bit of magma here. There's some rock that formed. Yeah, it's gonna take a long time before anything happens like that. Interestingly enough, okay. Yeah, some water is flowing down every now and then. Not sure where it's coming from though. Oops, I let out a lot of heat. Like a whole lot. Alright, so now this heat is making its way all the way up here. So this should melt a fair amount of stuff. Now all of this up here should be made of like steel, so it should be good. Up to at least 200 something degrees. This, obviously that's all gonna break. Yeah, see? Now we're melting some ice. Let's see how this works out. I'm not so sure the smaller pump is a good way to go. It seems like it's better off pumping the bigger stuff. If I have the volume, I could just go ahead and just really move a lot of liquid, so. Alright, let's see how that works out. Whatever this tile is, you can stop disinfecting it. Man. What happened to my slickster? Yo. Get back in there. I don't even know how you escaped. Oh, unless you died. You might have died. What? I got two duplicates now that are stuck in the same tube and having a pleasant conversation with each other. That's not right. Alright, so it's run for a couple of cycles here, and no, it is not self-powering. The natural gas is slowly going down, even though I am pumping it out. And if you look at the reports, you can see kind of where that power is going. The oil well is consuming 136 kilojoules a day, which is quite a lot. Besides that, the liquid pumps are right next to that at negative 54 kilojoules. Now, obviously, if we could, you know, selectively filter out this top pump a little bit more, it might actually be able to be self-powering, just self-powering, but the gas pump is at 9.5 kilojoules, so that's actually pretty efficient. I would say improving this liquid pump here is a good way to go. If I could just mop this up. Maybe put an automation thing on that. I don't know, it's weird because I'm dealing with melted snow, so I could really end up with either clean water or anything. We'll just give this a try real quick and see what happens. I'll go ahead and disable the carbon skimmer as well, just in case that is there. Get rid of the clean water. We're just going to deal with polluted water. Run this in a nice efficient method. Oh, it's so close to being self-powering. So you can see here how the natural gas is going down. It's going down. Just about ready to stall out. Then we add a little bit more to the system, and it starts to build up a little bit more. So it's just, it's like just losing a few tiles each time. So whatever this cycle is, it looks like it's right around 5 kilograms of natural gas short or something like that. Oh, but then you get a nice little boost there. Oh, yeah. But it's just slowly going down. So it's not quite self-powering, but it's awfully close. And that's pretty much running this about as efficiently as you're going to get off of polluted water. You'd have to get rid of the water sieve if you want to be more efficient than that. Yeah, so now we're out of power, unfortunately. But then again, all you'd need is power to your gas pump, and then it should be good enough to keep going. Oh. Well, and your gas shutoff valve. Okay. Oh, I don't think it's keeping up with itself. It's close, but you're still going to need to provide this whole thing power. Alright, so let's just wrap this thing up. The oil reservoir, it definitely does put out quite a bit of crude oil. We can measure that. It does, however, consume quite a bit of water, and we saw that happening here. I had to actually just go and add more and more water to that. So you may not want to use your most precious water source if you really want to run one of those reservoirs. So there's some interesting ideas that were actually that I showed here. One of them just really being trying to combine a very hot area and a cold area to melt some of that ice. You know, and maybe create a puddle, and then you can turn that puddle essentially into crude oil. At a little over a 3-to-1 ratio, so that's pretty good. The system itself is nearly self-powering. If you have exosuits, you really don't have to worry about this whole metal thing here to protect your duplicates so that they don't get baked like that. However, if you don't have, you know, exosuits, then I was able to actually control the temperature just fine by connecting the puddle up here with some metal tiles and a bunch of thermal shift plates that covered up the oil well where that natural gas comes out, because that natural gas comes out at a pretty high temperature. The insulation tiles here, no big deal, just igneous rock or whatever, insulated. Obviously in this arrangement I'm using a transit tube. You don't necessarily need to use one of those. Do whatever you need to do. It's a fun little system, and now that we have more tools to really tame something like this, I think oil well will be something that I will look at a little bit closer here in the future as far as producing more and more crude oil, especially as I get further on into the game and I need more of that to power up a lot more things like rockets and jet suits. So hopefully you guys found this video somewhat informative or helpful, and if I earned your subscription, then thank you so much for that. Have a great day, guys. Stay awesome. Peace. Brothgar out.